Welcome to Obsessed with Success, starring Russel Morgan.
Hello and welcome back to Obsessed with Success with Russel Morgan, founder and CEO of Morgan Legal Group, a high-performing estate planning firm based in New York City. Russell's helped hundreds of families secure their legacy while also mentoring lawyers on how to scale firms that attract premium clients and deliver consistent results. My name is Kevin Rosenquist, and today's episode is about the next level of law firm growth, not just getting more clients, but getting better clients and building the systems to serve them with excellence. Russell, welcome back. Good to see you.
Kevin, great to see you as always.
This is an interesting topic. Getting higher ticket clients. We all want higher ticket clients, right? Whatever we're doing. Let's start with the mindset. What does it take to move from sort of chasing volume to attracting those higher ticket clients?
I think you said the magic words. It's the mindset of chasing volume. If we're trying to attract high ticket, you're going to spend more time cultivating those high ticket clients than you would on a volume-based business. Like anything volume-based, unfortunately, quality tends to suffer because we're working on the masses. When you're trying to attract high ticket clients, any business that you're in, you're going to spend more time with the clients themselves, of course. But even to get to that point, we have to cultivate those relationships. They're usually not coming from your usual advertising or marketing. They're usually coming from something relationship based. So you're going to be spending a lot more time working on your professional networks. You're going to spend more time networking in general to get yourself out there. And you're going to change your focus altogether on how is your time best spent. And is it best spent doing the same routine work that you're used to doing? Or if you're truly looking to move up in the world to high ticket client realm, you're going to focus more on one-on-one type of service rather than an assembly line style where it's simply, the higher the turnover rate, the better I do. Here, your mindset in cultivating those relationships, they're built long term. The beauty of most high ticket clients is if you play your cards right, and if you do and deliver great service and a good product and maintain your relationships and really personal relationships, keep in touch, make sure you guys are connecting, ask questions, answer questions. It's not just money and a service at the end of the day. It is a true relationship. Mm-hmm. These are your ultimate resources. They're your ultimate referrals. They're your endorsements, and they will drive more business. Most people that are what you would call a high ticket client usually surround themselves with other people that you would consider high ticket clients. So it's part one is really building those relationships to show that you're capable of delivering the service. But when you get to that point, I can't stress the importance of actually delivering what you said you're going to deliver, because if you don't, you'll pick up your high value client, but they'll never talk to you again and they'll never see you again. And the worst part is they'll never send you a referral. So if you're truly looking to build that book, work on your relationships, keep in touch with your clients, keep in touch with your network, because your network is your net worth. And if you want to attract high ticket business and high ticket clients, grow and cultivate your network, not for the sake of volume, for the sake of quality. I would rather have 5 good people in my network that we know are able to generate clientele that we're comfortable working with than 100 people that really we have no value to each other. Mm-hmm. So be careful on who you choose. And make sure that whoever you surround yourself shares that mindset, that this is about quality, not quantity.
Yeah, it's like a LinkedIn network. More quantity than quality, I feel like, on a LinkedIn network. But, I think that what's an interesting thing is, especially at the beginning, when you're trying to get going, you're trying to make money, it's easy to get caught into that, like, I don't know, just give me all I can, just bring in the business, and you're looking at that quantity. Is there a point in time where you feel like a lawyer or a business is should feel like they're ready to maybe be a little more picky instead of just trying to, make money as fast as they can?
This is tied to your comfort level, and it's a decision you have to make for yourself. If certain people are comfortable working with a certain caliber of client, that's totally fine. High ticket clients are not for everyone. Some people prefer routine work, and that's totally fine. Somebody has to do it. And there's nothing wrong with doing standard business. We need that. That's the foundation. That's the fundamental level. You can't get to high ticket without understanding your foundation.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're getting to a point where you're able to pick, you're able to choose your clientele, you're already ahead of the curve. Kevin, to your point, in some cases, people just aren't there yet, either reputationally or professionally, that they're not ready to move up to a different type of clientele. And it really comes down to a level of comfort. Are you in a professional space where your reputation warrants a different level of clientele?
What about pricing? Like I feel like there's a lot of situations where people might feel like they don't want to overcharge because maybe they're new. Is that a part of this? Is that a way to kind of help bring in higher ticket clients by setting your pricing accordingly?
You have to set your pricing according. And look, if we're talking about the world, the legal market specifically, your experience and your expertise dictate your price. At a certain level, if you're dealing with commercial clients, the market may dictate your price. But in the legal profession, what separates a $400 an hour lawyer from a $2,000 an hour lawyer? Well, it's usually their expertise. It's usually their knowledge. It's usually their experience. That's how we're able to level up. For some people, they're okay where they currently are.
Mm-hmm.
For different businesses, for us to be able to go from delivering a product at a certain price to, let's say, doubling it or tripling it, quality comes first. So you're not going to be able to get to that new market or that new price tag if you don't have demand, if you don't have a steady flow of demand, and if your product and your service isn't top notch. Otherwise, how are you justifying any type of increase? If your client retention isn't there, if your client feedback isn't positive, why was somebody going to pay more for your service when the business next door is doing the exact same thing for half the price? And that's part of the issue. Is not everybody is going to be your client. Not
Right.
everyone is made to be your client. You have to make the conscious decision and understand whether the person I'm speaking to or whether the business that I'm speaking to is or isn't a good fit for my business. And that doesn't necessarily mean that their case or their matter or the service that they're looking for isn't right for me. Is it the caliber of client that I want to work with? Is it too complex for me? Is it something that I'm prepared to take on? Is it something that's going to consume a majority of my time? What does my case look like? Do I have the capacity for something like this? Most importantly, do I have the expertise and experience? Because at the end of the day, if I can't deliver a top-notch service and I can't deliver the best product possible in your ability, then you may want to think twice about taking on that client.
That's such a great point for anybody who's in business. Is not everybody is your client, and it's too many people getting stuck in that rut where you're just like, just take all comers kind of a thing. There's some people that strictly shop on price alone, in any industry, for any service, for any product. Are there ways that you can position your firm to sort of weed out those people and hopefully attract more of the higher ticket client people, the people who are looking for the quality over the price?
Above and beyond, you have to position yourself as an authority in the field. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter what you're selling. You have to be an authority in what you're doing, especially if you're in the services department. If whether you're a lawyer, a doctor, an accountant, an insurance broker, you have to be someone that the public turns to and other professionals turn to for guidance. A lot of that endorsement can come from other professionals. It can come from people that have done business with you that may not necessarily do what you do, but are passing along the message. Word of mouth is probably your best friend if we're dealing with high ticket clients. The fact remains that people who are at a certain level aren't using the same platforms that you and I are using, regular folks, to find services. Most high value clients already have a network of their own people that they work with. So what are they going to do? They're going to pick up the phone, they're going to call one of their friends, or they're going to call one of their people that they're already working with, and they're going to ask for a referral. They're probably not going to do a Google search or a Bing search or go on a website to find somebody. They're going to want someone that's coming vetted and someone that's coming from a solid referral source. So if you're in the world looking to level up and looking to take on a different, higher caliber of business, be prepared for what you're asking for. These are not people that you want to play with. High ticket clients means high responsibilities, just like anything else. So be mindful of that fact. And this comes back to my earlier point that it's okay. Not everybody wants to deal with high value clients. If you like commercial work, if you like retail work, that's totally fine.
Sure.
But if you want to move up, your reputation, your product, your delivery, and your client experience are absolutely the four top things that need to be number one. Otherwise, why would they come to you in the first place? What would give you the right to raise a price? And most importantly, once they actually get through your systems, what keeps them on board? What gives them that motivation to say, I had a wonderful experience here. I'm going to tell my friends, and they're going to tell their friends, and they're going to tell their family members. And that creates that web. So make sure your foundation is solid before you even make the conscious decision to level up or start seeking out higher value clients.
Yeah, that's a really good point too. You want to get your intake, your onboarding, all your systems in place, because let's be honest, if you're paying more for a service, you're going to have certain expectations of the product that's being delivered to you.
Absolutely. And look, some people, like you said, really do shop just for price.
Sure.
And that's fine. I just want to get the best value for my service. I don't care who I go to, as long as it's the best price that I can get and I'm still getting the service that I'm looking for. Those are not high ticket clients. Those are not the high value people that you're looking for. These are people that you're going to understand from day one. It's not about money. It's about delivery. It's about personability. It's about professionalism. And it's about delivery of product and service. That client experience, think of it like a concierge. Why do people use a concierge? And what kinds of people use a concierge? It's not for everybody. It's for people who understand the value of good service. Mm-hmm. So they're not afraid to spend a couple of extra dollars. But keep in mind, they are spending more money with you. They have higher expectations on everything you're doing and everything you're saying. So if you're not prepared to deliver, don't take on the business.
How important are branding, reviews, public credibility? How important are these things in attracting some of these higher ticket clients?
I think your branding is going to be important to an extent. You have to get yourself out there. Branding is definitely part of it, but being out there is really the number one reason why you're going to attract business. It's being consistent, being accessible to everyone, regardless of whether they're high value or low value, depending on what you're shooting for. But it's the consistency that you're there day in and day out, that they're able to reach you at any time they need to speak to you within reason. Obviously, everybody has to eat, sleep, and set time apart. But branding plays a role in the world of high ticket and high value. Your reputation is golden and it has to remain golden. So branding is going to play a role in your reputation, but word of mouth, when we're specifically dealing with high value clients, positive endorsements from your peers, other professionals that are working with similar clients, that's going to take you a lot longer. And that will go a long way, long term, with you building a high value client book than marketing and advertising in the traditional sense of, let's say Google ads and Facebook clicks and things like that. Just because, like I said, these people aren't really looking out there the way that most people are looking. They're picking up the phone, they're calling a friend, and they're saying, hey, I'm looking for the following service. Who did you use? Who did you go to? Is there somebody that you can connect me with? And again, it brings us back to our point. Your network is your net worth. Build that first, above and beyond, of course, with your product and service being your foundation, but your network is really what's going to drive any type of client, let alone high value clients.
Do you have some favorites or tips on building that network?
I started ground up. So yes, now 2020, of course, you're gonna have some pointers, but you're gonna have to go through the mud, unless you're coming into this from some, family that's connected or relationships that are pre-built or someone that's taking you by the hand and walking you in the room. You're going to have to do some guerrilla work, meaning you're going to have to do some real marketing. You're going to take those 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. networking meetings. You're going to go to the late functions. You're going to take the luncheons. You're going to go to the dinners, because you have to be out there. And look, if you have the privilege of being the brand, it doesn't necessarily have to be you. It has to be somebody that represents you, but you have to be present consistently on a daily basis. Don't skip the events. It's half an hour of your time, but you never know who you're going to meet in that room and who that person is going to connect you to. So if you get an invitation, especially if you're new to the industry or you're trying to change the type of client that you're boarding, or you're changing something about the type of business that you're doing, don't skip the marketing functions. Don't skip the networking events. Go to the 7 a.m. conferences. Go to the 7 p.m. dinners, because A, you don't know who you're going to meet, and B, you don't know what kind of help they're going to need. And to me, as always, success takes one. Failure is your best friend, because it teaches you that you only need to hit one time for you to be successful. With that being said, you have to maintain that success.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you get to that certain level and you're dealing with your high value clients, it's not just going to continue on its own. You have to continue to put yourself out there. So make sure that above and beyond, you're growing your network, but you're growing it with intention. If the people that you're surrounding yourself with aren't attracting the type of clientele within their own business that you can see as your potential clients, they're probably not the right person for you to be surrounding yourself with. So choose wisely and don't be lazy. Take the meetings, take the luncheons, go to the seminars, host the seminars. This is part of something that you should be doing actively. And look, traditional webinars, I think they're great. And back in the day, I've been to a handful, I'm sure you have too. We used to do things in person, where a whole bunch of people used to get together in a room and there'd be presentations.
Crazy time.
And it sounds like it's a million miles away, but these things really work. And depending on the market that you're attracting, it's a good tool to have in your toolbox. Today we have podcasts, right? And that doesn't mean it's the only way to get your voice out there, but a webinar is exactly that. You don't need to be in person, but it can't be the only thing that you're doing. You have to be well-rounded so that when your clients are vetting you, when your prospects are vetting you, when your referral sources are vetting you, that they're able to verify your authenticity, your professionalism, your knowledge, and your experience.
All right. Well, attracting high-level clients doesn't happen by accident. It's about clarity, confidence, building the right systems, the right referral system. Really good stuff, Russel. Appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining us today. For more insights from Russel, head to morganlegalny.com. And if you want to follow on social media, also got us at Morgan Legal NY. And don't forget to subscribe to Obsessed with Success. Lots more great content coming your way. Russel, it's always great chatting with you. Thanks so much.
Great to see you, Kevin. See you next time.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave us a review in the comments.